Tonight on CTV News at 6. An armed suspect shot and killed. A provincial agency is probing a shooting in Sudbury. Multi-million-dollar investment.
We think it will retain, retract and attract new talents.
An engineering group is establishing a state-of-the-art facility in Sudbury. And diverting truck traffic.
This is going to alleviate a lot of pressure from the downtown core.
Construction is underway on a new industrial road in Timmins.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. So glad you're with us on this Friday, December 5th. This morning, an armed suspect was shot and killed by Greater Sudbury Police. It happened in the Flour Mill area of the city during a response to a break and enter. Now, the province's Special Investigations Unit is leading the investigation because of police involvement in the death. CTV's Alan Everson reports.
This is a Greater Sudbury Police Supervisor cruiser with damage from an axe to the windshield in the intersection of Clinton Avenue and Queen Street. In a news release, Greater Sudbury Police say officers responded to a report of a break and enter in progress just before 5:30 this morning. Police arrived in the area and engaged an armed individual who died during the interaction. Because someone died during an interaction with police, the province's Special Investigation Unit, known as the SIU, was contacted and has invoked their mandate. That means Greater Sudbury Police cannot talk to the media about what happened. Late this afternoon, the SIU confirming, upon arrival, the officers encountered a man armed with an axe. With the axe, the man made contact with one of the police cruisers. There was an interaction, and one of the officers discharged his firearm. The man was struck. He was transported to hospital, where he's pronounced deceased. 4 investigators with the SIU and 3 forensic investigators have been assigned to the case. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
Today, mining engineering leader Sandvik announced an $85 million commitment to build a new manufacturing facility in Sudbury. The investment will lead to the creation of dozens of jobs and sustain hundreds more. That story from CTV's Amanda Hicks.
1, 2, 3.
A groundbreaking ceremony capped off Sandvik's $85 million announcement, which includes a $4 million contribution through the province's Invest Ontario Fund.
We think it will retain, retract and attract new talents, and so we're really happy to invest in Sudbury. It's for us, it's the centre of the activity in mining, certainly in nickel, and as we know, there's a lot of new mines coming up in the Ontario province, so we're happy to be here for the long term.
Today's announcement is it's an historic announcement for our city. It's one of the largest private sector investments in the city of Greater Sudbury in decades, so we're super excited.
The 135,000 square foot manufacturing facility will be located on 115 acres in New Sudbury to replace its current location in Lively. Corcoran says the new space will double workshop capacity and modernize services, including electrification capabilities and BEV infrastructure. He adds the space will sustain 400 jobs and lead to the creation of 60 more.
There's going to be some jobs, and the right jobs. I'm talking about technical jobs, obviously administrative functions, but certainly a lot of expertise in technologies that we're going to be looking for in the coming 24 months.
Ontario's Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade says with the ongoing trade war with the United States, this announcement couldn't come at a better time.
We see what's going on south of the border. Any announcements that we get to make in Ontario, any announcements that we've worked towards making, we visited Sandvik in Sweden. We've been in Sweden twice in the last year pushing for this kind of an announcement. It's a really important signal that Ontario has what the world needs.
Some of the work on the new facility has already begun. Corcoran anticipates it will be complete and fully operational by the end of 2027. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
A mining company in Timmins is building an industrial road to help divert heavy truck traffic away from the downtown area. Officials say this will improve overall safety for residents and prolong the lifespan of municipal infrastructure. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
Construction is underway on a new industrial road that will run for about 7 kilometers from Highway 655 to Lakeshore Gold's Bell Creek mine in Porcupine.
This is going to alleviate a lot of pressure from the downtown core. All our haulage will be coming up the north end of town to this haul road, and it's been a long time in the making.
The city clerk says the project's been in the works since 2013.
There was a lot of different property owners, there was different ministries involved, there was some private partners, there was private landowners. It was a real process trying to connect all the pieces that were required to make this bypass haul road a reality.
Villeneuve Construction is one of the property owners with around 2,000 acres.
You know, having a positive impact within the municipality and the Timmins residents and minimizing the traffic, and obviously accomplishing the road itself, because we're road builders, so you know, locating the right path and make sure the road is safe and well done. Very proud of that.
Upon completion sometime in the spring, Lakeshore Gold says anywhere from 80 to 100 trucks will be diverted from traveling through the city's core.
We'll have significant reductions in greenhouse gas emissions and energy overall, and obviously alleviating a lot of the stress on the core of the downtown, and you know, hopefully making it a safer place for our residents.
Timmins MPP George Peary says this road will help prolong the province's financial contribution to the city's connecting link.
So it's imperative that we get those trucks off that piece of highway, and this is a big step, a big part of that. That's why we need a southern link as well, to bypass to get into the Discovery Mill or the Dome Mill.
Lakeshore Gold officials say the road is an investment in Timmins, as they plan to continue operating here for a long time. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Cameron College unveiled its new dental simulation lab today. Sudbury MP Vivian Lapointe got to test out some of the school's new equipment while announcing more than $2.6 million in funding. The new money through the Oral Health Access Fund will allow Cambrian College to develop Northeastern Ontario's first Level 2 dental assisting program and increase enrollment capacity for its dental hygiene program. As for the new lab, it boasts 16 interactive dental working spaces.
$2.6 million that we announced today. It's great for the college where they can expand some of the programming they can offer. It's great for students because with the simulation lab, they will have such an enhanced learning experience here at the college.
And this gives you that chance to be one-on-one with yourself, to figure out what you need to do and to connect with your mannequin versus being in clinic with an instructor. This is your time to have one-on-one practice.
So with more time to practice, it gives our students more confidence and gets them more real-world ready.
Canadore College also received funding today through the Oral Health Access Fund. The North Bay School is getting $630,000. Now to the weather and blustery conditions for the Northeast, and to tell us more about the snow and blowing snow, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman, and that's quite the backdrop you have there.
Well, Tony, after all, this is where all the action takes place coming up tomorrow for the CTV Lions Children's Christmas Telethon. Number 77. You'll be here. I'll be at Place des Arts. And you know what? We're going to have a great time for tomorrow. So here's your forecast, at least maybe what you can expect after we get through the weather alerts. As you can see, some snow squall warnings as well as issued by Environment Canada. Now let's have a look at what's happening with our forecast radar as issued by Environment Canada. As always, here is the system moving through the Northeast right now. So the flurry should curtail by noon. Sault Ste. Marie 5 to 10 for tomorrow, predominantly in the morning. They may not continue into the afternoon, but anytime by about midday or shortly thereafter, the squalls and flurries should come to an end. We'll get a bit of a break, and that'll pick up again come Sunday. So we'll take a look at some of the current conditions and a lot more coming up, Tony, in just a couple of minutes. Make sure that you're dressed to the nines tomorrow, because I will.
I know you will. Thanks so much for that, Rick. And still to come on CTV News at 6, the province is putting money back into snowmobile trails in the north. We'll be right back.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
The province is investing almost $4 million to restore 4,500 kilometers of snowmobile trails. This comes after the Ontario Federation of Snowmobile Clubs said it would be reducing the number of trails this season. This money will now allow the OFSC to fully restore the paths for the 25-26 season. Officials say this investment reflects the importance of the system to the communities, the economic impact of the trails, and ensuring snowmobiling remains a cornerstone of winter. Well, we don't have... Oh, I think we have those clips right now.
Our federation is, even with this funding, we're keenly interested in trying to find ways to be as efficient as possible with our grooming operations, while still maintaining safety and quality and the experience that, upwards of 80,000 permit buyers look forward to each year.
Not only is it a fantastic way to spend time, on the trails, but it's the businesses, it's the people that count on it and depend on it. And in Central Ontario, and in my riding here in Parry Sound, Muskoka, many do.
When it comes to permit sales, OFSC officials say while they were down over the last 3 years, they are up from last year. They also hope this investment gets everyone back into investing in the sport. This is a National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women. 3 Sudbury Women's Centres partnered together to raise awareness on gender-based violence with a vigil and film to honor the lives lost. CTV's Madison Merrier has that story.
Lanterns drawn by women over the years led a path into the cinema where service workers, politicians, and community members learned more about the devastating stories of women who have been impacted by gender-based violence.
We're here to honor the National Day for Remembrance and Action on Ending Violence Against Women. It's to honor the 14 women who were murdered at L'École Polytechnique, as well as other women.
Gender-based violence affects everyone. It really does affect the whole community. You might not even know someone that is in your life is experiencing gender-based violence, intimate partner violence. So it helps to kind of put that awareness out there for everyone that you can be part of that change.
Organizers say that violence against women is becoming more and more of a threat.
Gender-based violence has been impacting our community for a long time, and it's been growing to the point that it was declared an epidemic.
OH has released their annual femicide report, and they're reporting that in Ontario, 43 women ranging in age from 20 to 83 have been murdered in the past year.
The organizations held a moment of silence at the vigil and showed a film to represent the hardships some women endure.
Any kind of education or any kind of moments where we can learn to see someone's different perspective can always just bring more empathy in the world. So that's what we're hoping with this film today and with this gathering.
I hope that we see a society that recognizes that this has devastating impact on mainly women, but on men too, on children, on families, on communities, that this has to be recognized for what it is, and it has to be stopped.
Centre Victoria pour Femmes, Sudbury Women's Centre, and the Young Women's Christian Association all partnered together on this day of remembrance in hopes of changing the future for women and to raise awareness on the epidemic. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Representatives from the North were in Sudbury this week to discuss newcomer retention. They were attending a 3-day conference organized by the Northern Policy Institute. The Institute says over the past 5 years, more than 4,000 newcomers have moved to communities in the North. Today, a panel discussion by coordinators of the rural and Francophone community immigration pilots, including representatives from Sudbury, North Bay, and Timmins.
There's thousands and thousands of businesses who are so focused on their business, that's all they're thinking about. So, and they do have challenges, and this is an avenue for them to be able to tackle the challenge of labor issues. So we have the ability to be able to educate the employers.
There had been a similar pilot called the Rural and Northern Immigration Program. This latest federal program includes more communities and a wider variety of roles available to newcomers. Legendary architect Frank Gehry has died at the age of 96. Gehry, who spent part of his childhood in Timmins, was one of the most famous architects in the world. He transformed contemporary architecture through an innovative use of materials, design, and form. The Toronto-born architect's first building in Canada was the Art Gallery of Ontario. Examples of his work are found all around the globe. Back now for a check on your current conditions with Rick.
Well, you could say it's been a snowy day in Northeastern Ontario. Snow, extensive snow in North Bay and Sault Ste. Marie. Of course, even in Greater Sudbury. Let's check out our forecast radar right now. This is what we've got going, and that will continue and let up by about midday for tomorrow. Now the current temperatures that you've come to expect at this time. Let's begin in beautiful Moosonee this hour, minus 12. Not as cold as last night, by the way. Cochrane, some light precipitation, minus 11. Timmins, minus 11. Kapuskasing, some precipitation at minus 12. Meanwhile, in Chapleau, minus 14. Wawa, minus 7. Some fog conditions in the Sioux at minus 10. How about down Highway 69, Parry Sound, minus 7. Mainly cloudy skies there. In North Bay, minus 14. Temiskaming Shores, minus 11. And cloud cover in Kirkland Lake. Greater Sudbury Nickel Belt, minus 10 this hour. Minus 10 in Espanola, some light precipitation. And Elliott Lake, minus 10. Beautiful Gore Bay, minus 8, some light snow this hour. So once again, Tony, hopefully we'll get rid of the snow by about midday tomorrow and see some better weather in the forecast for tomorrow. Back to you.
Thanks, Rick. Difficult decision. Next on CTV News at 6. Canada still grappling with which fighter jet to buy. And give the gift of plasma this Christmas. You can donate once a week. Ottawa Public Safety Minister says the federal government is launching a review of Canada's firearms classification, including consultations with Indigenous communities about the SKS rifle. The government has been heavily criticized by gun control advocates for not including the semi-automatic SKS on the list of banned firearms. The SKS is commonly used in Indigenous communities for hunting, but has also been used in police killings and other high-profile shootings. Today marks the third and final day of hearings in Washington on the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement. Canadian business leaders are using the proceedings to urge the U.S. trade representative for a timely renewal of the existing free trade agreement. Business Council of Canada President Goldie Hyder was among those who spoke at the hearing yesterday. He says officials from all three countries are united in their message to U.S. President Donald Trump.
Mr. President, the trade agreement you negotiated, it's working. It's working for Canada, it's working for Mexico, but most importantly, it's working for America. You have 13 million jobs being created here because of the trade agreement that we have. And so to hear Americans, preach the importance of this agreement, the importance of reviewing and renewing it, was certainly music to my ears.
The pact was negotiated during the first Trump administration, replacing the North American Free Trade Agreement. Canada has long committed to procuring 88 U.S.-made F-35 fighter jets. But in light of lingering trade tensions and Sweden pledging up to 10,000 jobs if Canada purchases jets from it, the government has been reviewing its options. CTV's Rachel Aiello has those details.
As the Canadian government contemplates following through on its procurement of Lockheed Martin's F-35s or diversifying the Air Force's fleet by also acquiring Swedish company Saab's Gripen E fighters, a nano survey about procurement priorities is shedding new light on what Canadians think is most important. 40% said having the fighter jet that is the best solution. 28% said picking the jet that generates the most Canadian jobs. 18% said defense cooperation with Europe was the most important factor. Double the number of Canadians who said cooperation with the U.S. was key. And just 2% of those surveyed said the government should pick the lowest cost option.
What this shows is that if the government decides to change tact, it's actually going to have to explain why.
A recently leaked procurement document revealed the F-35 scored higher than the Gripen across a range of military and technical performance categories.
In your report and recommendations to the Prime Minister in this review, did you let him know that the F-35 beat the Gripen by a mile?
The review continues, and it will continue until it's complete. And I am quite sure that the kinds of metrics you're alluding to and referring to will find their way into the final report.
Experts say while the F-35 may be the better choice to maintain interoperability with the Americans, a diversified fleet compatible with more countries could also be to Canada's advantage. Even as critics suggest Saab's pledge to create 10,000 jobs in Canada is unrealistic.
There is no single best jet. It depends on the missions.
The defense minister hasn't committed to a deadline for when the government will decide what fighter jets will make up the fleet, replacing Canada's aging CF-18s. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
The United States military has carried another lethal strike against a suspected drug smuggling boat. 4 people were killed in this strike, the 22nd strike against boats that the U.S. has conducted in the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean. That brings the death toll since the Trump administration began a campaign of bombing suspected drug smuggling vessels to at least 87. This all takes place against a backdrop of closed-door briefings to lawmakers by Admiral Frank Bradley into the first boat strike conducted September 2nd. There are reports that Bradley ordered a follow-up attack that killed survivors of the initial strike. Bradley told lawmakers there was no kill them all order from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Legal experts have warned the killing of survivors at sea could be a violation of the laws of warfare. And there's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick.
The forecast you've been waiting for, the 7-day outlook, of course, and to be followed by our pick of the day, forecast radar. Let's have a look and see what's happening with the radar system right now as issued by Environment Canada. That system moving through should let up by about midday tomorrow. Then the flurries return, or at least the chance of flurries come Sunday. Overnight conditions 5 to 10 centimeters for this evening, Greater Sudbury, and overnight. Sault Ste. Marie 5 to 10 as well. 2 centimeters in Timmins, Temiskaming Shores 5 to 10, and North Bay 10 to 15. It's been a rough day in North Bay today. Moosonee 2 to 4 centimeters, Kapuskasing-Hearst 2 to 4 as well. 5 to 10 in Wawa, Gore Bay 5 centimeters, and Parry Sound 5 to 10 centimeters as well. Now your 7-day forecast and conditions. Flurries in Greater Sudbury -5 tomorrow. Flurries should let up by about midday. Chance of flurries for a couple of days, Sunday and Monday. Here we go. Periods of snow on Tuesday with a high of -6. How much? We can't tell you just yet. We will follow that through Environment Canada. Chance of flurries Wednesday and Thursday as well. Meanwhile, in Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, flurries and squalls will continue tomorrow before letting up. Finally, 5 to 10 centimeters, -5 the high. Chance of flurries for a couple of days, Sunday and Monday. Then the periods of snow roll in Tuesday, -4. Cloud cover Wednesday and Thursday, the chance of flurries at -6. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, some flurry action tomorrow at 2 to 4 centimeters, -13 the expected high. Wish I could tell you it would be warmer, but it's not. -14 Sunday with the sunshine. -11 Monday, more sunny skies there. And of course, more snow, or at least the chance of snow. 40% right now. It's kind of close to being a 50-50 bet on that one. Cloud cover Wednesday and Thursday. Your normal sitting at about -6, but take a look at some of those temperatures. -23, -16, -17, and -15 as well. Okay. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, flurries for tomorrow, -3. Chance of flurries on Sunday. Some sunshine Monday, I like that, -11. Periods of snow Tuesday, -6, and the clouds roll in, -9 and -11 for Wednesday and Thursday, below normal, which is around -5 for this time of the year. And a look now at North Bay, West Nipissing. Flurries tomorrow, 2 to 4 centimeters. With a high of -1, -9 Sunday and -10 Monday. Chance of flurries both days. Periods of snow coming up on Tuesday, -4 the high, -6 and -8 the highs Wednesday and Thursday, with the chance of flurries sitting at 30 and 40%. So again, a bit of a break in terms of flurry action in the squalls until Sunday, then more snow rolling in by Tuesday. Let's have a look now at our pick of the day, the supermoon taken by Rose last night at around 6 o'clock in the Garson area. A lot of people out with their cameras and a deluge of pictures sent to CTV on that. But Rose, I like this one. That was taken at around 6 last night. So again, thank you for that. Some great work as always. Stick around. Tony has more news and some telethon updates coming up after the break.
The Medical Lab Professionals Association of Ontario says staffing shortages have hit critical levels. And as CTV's Pauline Chan tells us, it's made a one-time request of the Health Ministry to train more staff.
Almost 70% of Ontario's medical labs, that is public health, community labs, and those in hospitals, say they are experiencing staff shortages.
I would say in a lab like mine, which is a core lab, 75% of the work is chemistry testing, which means those are the tests that can diagnose kidney failure or liver failure, or can help diagnose a heart attack.
Jennifer Santa White has worked in the small community of Red Lake in Northwestern Ontario for 20 years.
From only 3 MLTs on my staff, which can be quite challenging. When one person goes on vacation, I'm pulled out of my office from working on the quality aspect of the medical lab professional's job to working on the bench.
40% of Ontario labs surveyed say staff shortages are starting to affect testing turnaround times. And if you can't get a diagnosis, you can't get the right treatment.
70% of the data that's provided from laboratories is actually provided to physicians so they can treat us.
Michelle Hote says the holiday season is actually their busiest time of year.
Right now, flu is rampant everywhere in Ontario. Whether you are going in for hip surgery, whether you're using the Emerge, those are fully staffed labs by lab professionals that work 24-hour shifts.
The Medical Laboratory Professionals Association of Ontario has sent the Health Ministry a one-time request for $6 million over the next 3 years. It wants the money to hire more preceptors, retired lab technicians and technologists who can work as instructors for the practical training required to become a lab professional. The Health Ministry says it's taking action, adding, since 2018, we have added nearly 2,000 more medical laboratory technologists to our workforce. To build on this progress, last year we announced 700 new education seats for medical laboratory technologists and technicians. Hote acknowledges that doctors and nurses are also experiencing burnout, but
don't forget that there is an army of lab professionals hidden behind a door that you don't see, that are working very hard to get you the test results so you can get treated and get home to your family.
Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Public Health Ontario is out with the latest figures on respiratory virus spread across the province as influenza drives most of the illness in the community. Officials released the latest lab testing results from the week ending November 29th. Flu tests overall had an 18.3% positivity rate, already considered high. But look at this, influenza A positivity topped 52% among children aged 5 to 11 and 46% among those aged 12 to 19. Children's hospitals have reported a surge in patients seeking care, noting most hadn't been vaccinated against the flu. Health experts advise people of all ages to get their shot to help reduce the risk of serious illness, with flu season not expected to peak until late December. Canadian Blood Services is calling on Sudbury residents to join Canada's Lifeline as plasma donors this holiday season. Donors can give plasma once a week, and with the need rapidly increasing, officials say they will need to double donations in the next 5 years to meet rising patient needs. Plasma, which makes up over half of our blood, is urgently needed to make life-saving medication called immunoglobulins. Right now, more than 70% of the medication Canadian patients need come from the global market, notably from the United States. And appointments can be made online at blood.ca or by calling 1-888-2-DONATE. The downtown Sudbury Art Crawl is making a return this year. It's tomorrow with 32 locations and more than 50 artists. The Art Crawl runs from noon to 5 p.m. The event is free to attend, and many of the locations have also made specialty items for participants that are under $10.
We have at least 300 people that are kind of our standards downtown, the supporters, and we're so grateful for that. So I'm really hoping for it to be a huge event, and with the telethon happening later on that day, it's kind of a way to kind of spend the day downtown. Come have lunch, come have supper, and see some art while you're at it, and then go see some caroling at the end. So it's it should be a great afternoon.
Be sure to stop by Place des Arts to watch the CTV Lions Children's Christmas Telethon. The eyes of the sports world were fixed on Washington, D.C. this afternoon as the 2026 FIFA World Cup draw took place at the Kennedy Center. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth has that story.
48 teams, 12 groups of 4. Switzerland and Qatar will battle Canada in Group B. The 4th team in Canada's group will be determined based on the winner of an upcoming pre-World Cup playoff.
Between Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, Bosnia and Herzegovina.
As a host country, Canada automatically qualified for the World Cup and are ranked 27th in the world. With the complexion of their group competition taking shape, Canada now looks ahead to the World Cup, hoping to win a tournament game for the first time ever, and it won't be easy.
Well, obviously they got the toughest pot 4 team. We know that. We don't know who it's going to be, but thinking it being a European team, and it could be Italy themselves, it makes it an extremely difficult game. But what an exciting match we're going to get in Toronto.
I think the highlight is absolutely Qatar.
Canada will play its first home match June 12th in Toronto before shifting to Vancouver for matches on June 18th and 24th. FIFA will unveil its full match schedule on Saturday, announcing all the games being played in Canada. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Washington.
For the love of the game, still ahead on CTV News at 6. We take you to a Grassroots hockey program in North Bay.
Hockey This Week is brought to you by Rastall Nut and Bolt Company.
It's a usual practice day at the rink for the North Bay North Stars. The players have been fitted with brand new hockey gear.
I got new gloves. I got new skates.
All of the players on the North Stars have either an intellectual or a developmental disability. The program, which has been around for nearly 2 decades and supports 3 teams, allows them to lace up, take to the ice, and play the game they love.
I've made this friend Caitlin, and she's so nice, and everybody on the North Stars is so nice.
Hockey can be expensive for many families due to the cost of gear and travel, and even more so for players with disabilities.
To be able to not have to worry about that when you have so many other things on your plate, I mean, you really can't put a price on it.
So when the North Stars heard of a unique partnership between Oreo and the National Hockey League's Players Association, where grassroots hockey programs would be selected to get new equipment, they eagerly shared their story.
A lot of these guys are massive hockey fans. You know, they follow the battalion, they follow any number of NHL teams, so they love hockey, and they should be able to play hockey.
When the NHLPA and Oreo heard about the North Stars program, they were overjoyed.
Their focus has always been on fun, on development. I mean, that really hits home for us because that's at the focus of that initiative between the NHLPA and Oreo.
17 players were fitted with $10,000 worth of new gear, including 2 goalies.
My elbow pads had straps, and the straps, no matter what you do with them, they'd scratch at your skin. It feels a lot better.
We can keep running this program year after year after year after year.
The North Stars are training hard for the Special Hockey International Tournament, which takes place in Toronto in March. The players say they're excited for that competition. And with new gear, it gives them strides to be the best they can be out on the ice.
And why I like hockey is because of the skating and the fun I have with other people.
For Hockey This Week, Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Last night in the NOJHL, the Sault, Michigan Eagles were in the Nickel City to take on the top-rated Sudbury Cubs. Sudbury took advantage of home ice, taking down the Sault 6-1. Tonight, the Eagles will have home ice advantage as they host the Timmins Rock. The Powassan Voodoos are in Espanola tonight to face off against the Paper Kings. Both games are 7:30 starts. The Iroquois Falls Storm blow into Hearst to take on the Lumberjacks, while the French River Rapids host the high-flying Sault Thunderbirds in Noelville. Both those games are 7 o'clock starts. Over in the OHL last night, the North Bay Battalion hosted the Sarnia Sting. The troops win a hard-fought battle, 2-1. Sarnia continues their Western road swing tonight in Sudbury against the Wolves at 7:05. Tonight is CTV night. Visit our booth and make a donation to the Telethon and get one of our limited edition tree ornaments. In the Sault, the Greyhounds are hosting the Oshawa Generals. Tonight is the Teddy Bear Toss at GFL Memorial Gardens. For those attending that game, it's at 7:07. A Halifax author's hockey romance novel has turned into one of the hottest new shows on Crave. And as CTV's Katie Kelly shows us, it's also getting international attention.
Canada-Russia final showcasing the two most talked about prospects in the world. Canada's Shane Hollander.
Shane Hollander, I wanted to introduce myself.
It's the show everyone is talking about. Heated rivalry is being called steamy, spicy, intense, and totally addictive.
I have fans all over the world. I have fans who've never watched hockey before. I have fans who barely knew what hockey was. Some of them have become hockey fans since, which is cool.
It's drawn from Nova Scotia author Rachel Reed's Game Changers book series.
Heated rivalry is the story of two NHL superstars, or MLH superstars on the show.
I only need one thing. I need to win.
On the ice, they're bitter enemies. Off the ice, they have a secret long-term relationship.
I've just always been a very big hockey fan, so I really wanted to write books about hockey. And I do just love writing Canadian stories, and I think hockey is one of the most Canadian things that you can write about.
Is everything you dreamed of? Almost.
The journey to TV began when the show's creator slid into her DMs.
It was made by Jacob Tierney, and he contacted me on Instagram in August of 2023 just to ask if the books had been optioned, and just to let me know that he's a fan and he would love to make a show based on them.
The momentum has been non-stop. The Crave series has already been picked up by international networks, and Reed's books are dominating bestseller lists across North America.
It's been the #1 book in the entire Kindle store for the last week or so on Amazon in America, which is amazing. I believe I saw that it's on the Globe and Mail bestsellers list this week. It was on the Toronto Star bestsellers list last week.
It's a level of attention Reed never imagined.
I never thought any of this would happen, so it largely wasn't in bookstores at all until very recently. So seeing it have this kind of success is really thrilling, and I definitely am very, very grateful.
You're an awesome player to watch.
Yes.
As for the show, Reed says she's blown away by how true it stayed to her original story, and she thinks fans will feel the same.
I've never seen romance adapted this well before, so it's really thrilling. And I think that if you are a romance fan, you're going to be blown away by how much this feels like reading a romance novel, watching the show.
Katie Kelly, CTV News.
A huge deal was reached in the entertainment world today. Streaming giant Netflix is taking over Warner Brothers Discovery for nearly $83 billion US.
This is shaking the industry to its core. I mean, the one thing, I guess, the reason that Netflix particularly wanted Warner Brothers is that now they have access to the Harry Potter series. They've got access to the DCU, Superman, Batman. You know, there's so many popular TV shows, the whole HBO catalog, the whole CBS catalog.
It's the largest consolidation deal in the entertainment industry since Disney's $71 billion takeover of Fox in 2019. The Netflix deal is expected to attract a lot of scrutiny from competition regulators. Both Netflix and Warner Discovery say the deal likely won't be finalized until 2027. A classic comedy returns and an Oscar-winning film hits YouTube. David Daniel has details in tonight's Hollywood Report.
How are you guys connected to family again? Uncle Ned's kids.
You know Uncle Ned, Aunt Liz's brother.
Wedding Crashers is back in theaters for its 20th anniversary, screening on December 4th and 11th. Iconic actress Jane Seymour says she loved being part of the ensemble.
It was a masterclass or a master experience in comedy, because every single actor that they cast had a different style of comedy. And it was magical.
The Oscar-winning animated short War is Over is now on YouTube. Sean Ono Lennon and director Dave Mullins wrote the film about soldiers on opposite sides of a senseless war playing a game of chess with the help of a heroic carrier pigeon. The film, inspired by John Lennon and Yoko Ono's song Happy Christmas, War is Over, is now on the official John Lennon YouTube channel with a fundraising link for War Child, a non-profit helping children in war-torn areas. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The federal government is serving Stellantis a notice of default after the automaker shifted production from Brampton to the United States. In October, Stellantis officials announced planned production of the Jeep Compass would move from Brampton to Illinois. The federal industry minister told the Standing Committee on International Trade the move breaches federal contracts tied to manufacturing in Brampton and Windsor, saying the contract for federal funding at the Windsor battery plant included a job guarantee in Brampton. The Canadian economy added 54,000 jobs in November, pushing the unemployment rate to its lowest level in 16 months. Statistics Canada's monthly survey found the job gains were driven by additions in part-time work linked to the healthcare and social assistance sectors. This is the third consecutive month of job gains, with the Canadian economy adding 181,000 new jobs since September. As we told you earlier, Netflix and Warner Brothers are making a move. BNN Bloomberg's Morella Fernandez has more on the merger.
Streaming company is buying one of North America's oldest entertainment studios for almost $83 billion US. If approved, Netflix would be a behemoth, picking up a deep trove of famous Hollywood movies and shows, from Casablanca and Gone with the Wind to the Harry Potter series and Superman. The deal with Warner Brothers Discovery will be scrutinized by U.S. regulators, and some say they may not approve of the agreement. Warner Brothers Discovery also owns a cable unit that runs CNN and TNT. It isn't part of the Netflix deal. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to $72.31. West Texas Intermediate crude is up to over $60. Western Canadian Select is up to $46.36. And the TSX lost 166 points to end the day at 31,311. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
And here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold down $9.89, closing the day at $41.9780 US an ounce. Silver up $1.36 to end the day at $58.40. Copper up 5 cents to $5.25, and nickel down 1 cent, ending the day at $6.68 US a pound. And I have the pleasure of presenting your weather forecast for Saturday. Let's start in through Sudbury, where it's going to be minus 5 degrees Celsius and some snow flurry activity. In through Timmins, minus 13 degrees as a daytime high, and just a light dusting, not much precipitation at all. 2 centimeters of snow. In through Sault Ste. Marie, 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. Minus 5 is your daytime high as we shuffle off to North Bay, minus 1, 2 to 4 centimeters of snow. And through Parry Sound, a little bit more, 5 to 10 centimeters, and above zero. Look at that, 1 degree. And in through Timiskaming Shores, minus 3, flurries, about 2 centimeters. The 77th annual CTV Lions Children's Christmas Telethon is tomorrow. Organizers and performers were finalizing every detail yesterday at Place des Arts. Money raised at the telethon helps purchase toys for as many as 10,000 families in need. There's a lot of excitement heading into Saturday's show and a lot to look forward to.
We have all sorts of Christmas music and quite a variety of different acts. We have everything from choirs to dancers to solo acts, some young acts, some old acts. We've got everything across the board. It should be quite entertaining.
It brings a lot of joy and happiness to a lot of people in the televised community that CTV is covering. So you know what, I'm hoping that we'll have a great success with the fundraising this year.
And you can tune in Saturday, December 6th, starting at 2 p.m. on CTV in Sudbury and Sault Ste. Marie. For the rest of the region, you can watch on Crave or on our website, CTV News Northern Ontario.ca. And with the telethon tomorrow, we thought we would get you in the Christmas spirit. Here's a performance from 2024. This is Nyla Marie Newton singing Jingle Bell Rock. Good night.